Education, Laurie Kilmartin.
Let us begin the program. Sans Kyle, Laurie.
Start the podcast. Yes,
Let's-
it's Kyle's birthday, and he didn't want to listen to two old hens cluck about stand-up comedy on his birthday.
How great was it that Ron Funches put his baby wish list in that was the funniest part for me.
That was a really fun, eventful reply. There was a comedy club that did an accidental reply all. Too. Instead of like sending a BCC list prevails, they did a reply all, including many famous comedians, and people started replying all, and there was drama, there was hilarity, there was hackiness, and kind of everything you want in a comedy experience.
And it's still going.
I'm
like, I don't know how to get off it. I
don't want to. What else do you have in your life? It's a pandemic. Please, more people chime in and get angry about stuff. That's what I want.
I don't. I was like, and then I'm getting like side DMs of people going, why are they talking about that? Why is this person doing this and this, that? And I was like, okay, all right. And there's absolutely no reason for this guy to send me a side message.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was like,
oh no, why?
I was like, dude, it's okay. It's all good. It's
I'm not responsible for what other comedians say, by the way.
And the guff, I guess the guff that the club booker is getting is intense. What I did, because
you know what? Everyone does it. It's happened to everybody.
Absolutely, everyone.
Just back off. And
I enjoyed your response, which was just your avails.
I sent my avail.
And I was like, and so I got this. I got into a separate chain with the booker, and I was like,
yeah,
you have to book Laurie in all of the things. If you're gonna send Ron Funches a baby gift, you have to book Laurie and all.
I sent him a baby. I sent him some baby stuff. That's so cool that he's having another baby.
Yeah, him and his new
That's
wife.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
That's
neat. You know, I think he was really young when he had his first son, and
super young.
While he's doing the comedy struggle, that's really tough. And now I think he's in a, when you have a level of prosperity, you know. Then when you have a kid, it's a really different experience, I imagine, so that's very exciting.
Yeah, everybody's an adult and it's an informed decision, and his son is a blessing, and he's listening. We love you, Ron.
Yes, we do.
And
I will again say it's creepy to talk to people who are listening to the podcast, and I'm against it, and you love to do it.
Well, let's talk to just everybody then. Hey guys, I'm in Royal Oak, Michigan. Are you in Bloomington?
I am in Bloomington.
All right.
Well, Jackie, you had the eventful week. Start. Let's go.
Okay, so my eventful week was I remember I came back from New York to record James Corden,
right,
on Wednesday, and then I found out Tuesday that the guy. Josh Gad, the voice of Olaf, and the original guy from the Book of Mormon, he was one of the other guests. Him and Dakota Johnson were the other guests, but Josh Gad wanted to do a sketch with James Corden, so they asked if I'd be willing to be bumped to tonight, essentially.
Yeah. I'm always against actors performing any kind of sketches, but I understand it gets the clicks, especially if they're bumping an actual comic. Okay, go ahead.
Right. And I didn't, and then Ryan offered me, he said, now you can either, we can either tape it Wednesday or you can come in on Monday. Well, I had already changed my flight to come home to do it Wednesday. And I was like, no, let's just get this over with. And that's what I like to do. That's the spirit. Let's get my career over with.
Could we just have a separate class for you called Talking to TV Bookers, so that you go, let me see if I can arrange my schedule to do your show, and let's get this over with.
Things
Yes,
that Jackie Cation should not say to the gatekeepers of the world, even though they are very understanding. They've been very, very nice to me. So I did it on Wednesday. I don't know. How did you feel? Did you feel super? Because I thought that they tried to make it as comfortable as possible, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so when you went out on stage, were you nervous?
Yeah, because I wasn't confident in how I was getting to my first joke. Like I wasn't an opening joke I ever used in a set. So I had only spent the last week trying to open with it. And so I was worried about getting the wording precise.
Yeah.
So I was a little worried about that. So once I got that out of the way and it worked well, I was like, all right, smooth sailing. But I was worried. I didn't go out into the common area to hang out with Andrew Garfield or Jamie Dornan, who were standing there being incredibly handsome and taking pictures. I was like, I can't handle this. So I just paced in my room and went over my first sentence basically over and over again.
Okay. Because I was more nervous than I would have liked to have been. And I wonder how it'll look tonight, quite honestly. Because I did the jokes and they were fine. And it was funny because the bullet points, so you could get them on the teleprompter.
Yeah.
And I like them on the teleprompter, but what I think I'm going to like going forward is the entire set on the teleprompter, not where they have to move it. Because especially because what I did was I was doing.
You want it written out word for word on a prompter?
No. I just want the bullet points.
Oh, the bullet points.
The set list on one screen,
right.
And me figure out my eyesight.
Yes.
Like so that the font is fine, and I'm just because I would like to see the whole set list.
Right.
Because then I know what I've done and where I've gone. Like I got off stage and I pulled out my set list from my pocket and he was like, now why are you looking at your set list? It went really well.
It's done. It's over. It's done.
He's like, it went really well, Jackie. It was great. And I was like, that is very sweet of you. I am just making sure I didn't forget any jokes. And and he was like, no, I did not. Okay. I did change an order at one point, which is why I thought about that. Having the whole set list would have been there, because the poor person working the teleprompter was like up, down. Wait, where is she? And it was slightly, it was a little distracting.
Nerve-wracking. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, did I forget something? And I did not. And but I did do it in a slightly different order. So I think though that I stuck the 4.5 minutes.
Hey,
so I think I stuck the time and so that was good. And
did you notice like Ian and Corden to the left, and all that stuff? Did you acknowledge them to Reggie or anything?
I did most of my set to Reggie.
That's
yeah. And because I couldn't really see the audience because there's that bank of cameras.
Right.
So I was like, I could kind of see some of the staff. I could see like the AD and the different directory production people. And I was like, am I going to play to them? But they're at work. So they're doing things. And I'm like, it'd be like trying to do your set to someone who's on their cell phone. And you're like, can I get you to look up?
Or participating in a podcast with someone who's on their cell phone?
What do you mean? That's all right. And
no, but the band is listening. They're all ears. I think the band is like totally chill. They know what song they go to immediately after you say goodnight. And so that's that. They're just chilling.
Yeah. And but I said hi to Ian and I said hi to Reggie and my guess, because I wanted to kind of talk about what Reggie's question of the day was or whatever, because that's one of his sketch, like one of his bits that he gets to do. But they weren't going to air it. Like my guests were Dakota Johnson and Josh Gad. And Dakota Johnson, very funny.
Really?
And I was psyched actually. I was not. What she got like what I liked about her, because she's not a comic, right? So she doesn't have to be funny like us.
Right.
What I really appreciated about her, because she is, first of all, I don't know who she is. And I do know who she's.
You didn't watch The Favorite Daughter?
No, I couldn't
The
do
Lost
it.
Daughter.
The Lost Daughter. No, it sounded sad and weird. So, but it sounded incredibly well done. I saw the clips and I saw a trailer, and I could very easily just do a synopsis and then talk to you about it and lie. But I thought I would just tell you that I didn't watch it. I rewatched the last 2 episodes of Hawkeye again.
Okay.
So, but she is Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith's daughter.
And Tippi Hedren's granddaughter.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Tippi Hedren is Melanie Griffith's mother.
Oh, that makes sense. Right, right.
You know, weird is when I did Conan, the guest before me was Riley Keough, who's Elvis's daughter. They're Elvis's granddaughter. And it's a similar sort of like, we both had like a very beautiful Hollywood royalty that was funnier than expected to be, you know, given their beauty and their lineage.
Right. And I was psyched because she was so gorgeous. Like, she's an incredibly good looking person.
Yeah.
And yet, as she was listening to Josh and James kind of riff around her on the panel, I was like, did she get invited out so that she could chat? And she got in the mix and got a really good laugh out of Josh. And she seemed super down to earth, is what I'm saying, is that she seemed, her humanity was not in question. With someone who's that good looking, and that distractingly, you know, sort of perfect.
Yeah.
And I was psyched. I was psyched at her panel work, and then I was psyched at how she seemed in her room, and there was that pre-check at the door.
Yeah.
And she was great in that. She was just, she seemed really nice. And then we passed each other. I kind of wanted to meet Josh Gad because I really liked his work as Olaf. Anyway, but I did get to talk briefly to Dakota Johnson. I just said, you were very funny, and it was great. She was like, oh, good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. She, what was I going to say? Fuck. Well, that's cool. I lost my train of thought. But
I can't wait to see the set. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And did you like what you wore?
I did. It was funny. I went shopping for like 3 hours, had a small meltdown because I hate shopping. And then came home, and Carmen is staying with us, Carmen Morales, and I borrowed a shirt from her. And I wore the shirt. Yeah.
That's your coordinate, is you borrowed a shirt.
Yeah, I borrowed a shirt. And I have a jacket from there's a used, like a consignment shop in Minneapolis that I really like to shop at when I go there, called New Look, New Look.
Oh.
And it's and I got a jacket there. I'm wearing it all weekend here too, but it's super cute. So I wore a jacket with Carmen's shirt, and then my pants, and then my shoes, and my underpants. Anyway, I wore the rest of it was me. Okay.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad. And then Corden came over, right? And
and was super nice. And he said, you know, he's I don't know if he says it to everyone. He said it to me. He said, anytime you want to come back. And I said, I'll be back next week. I was like, how about these other brand new jokes that I'll be super nervous about? Because it does feel like the jokes I did were so new, but they aren't. They're not new. I've been working on them, but because a lot of that work was done over Zoom, they felt newer than if I had done I had done them on stage for 2 years and then recorded them. So they're still done. They're still on the album. Yeah.
Yeah. And he held up a copy of the album, Staycation.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that, but it was great. And then and then they were going to plug that I'm at Comedy on State this week in Madison, but they didn't. There wasn't enough time or something. So the outro, I think, is just more staycation, and that's good. Yeah,
that's what you need. You need those downloads.
Yeah, I'm working, by the way, with a kid, a young man from Chicago that you have worked with, and he's featuring, and he's doing a great job. I really like this. His name is Anthony. Oh, weird. So sorry. But not so. Anthony.
Oh yeah,
Bonazzo.
where did the guy work with him?
I think you worked with him in Chicago, maybe at Zany's.
Oh, okay, very cool.
Yeah, and so that my phone just blew up. Put it down. Put down the phone.
Oh,
be in
yeah,
this moment. Yeah, we're we're doing a thing. And so how's Bloomington?
Oh, Bloomington's fine. We had 2 shows last night, and they're, it's not packed, which is normally I would be in a panic about my career, but I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I want motherfuckers to kill me, you know. But the crowds that are there are great, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do crowd work, and so I don't have to do old, like all the material I did is not on the album, except for one thing, the dog thing, but that always goes into crowd work. So, but everything else just either stuff that's new or from, not on the record, or just crowd work. And it's like, people love it. It makes the show unique, I mean, and then I just do the material. I fit it in the other places, and I don't have to be feeling guilty for doing stuff that they may have already seen. Although that when I did Corden, I did a joke that's newer, and it's the one that got clipped out. This not about my son not having a smartphone and making him look stuff up in an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
And so I started it, and a woman in the front row starts clapping, and I'm like,
yep.
The punchline to this joke. And she's like, yes, I can't wait to see it. I'm like, the whole point is it's supposed to be surprise. And then I started yelling at the audience, do you all know the punchline to this joke? And like half of them did, because they'd been playing on Jared's, coming up thing. I'm like, well, what's the point of doing it?
Well, so sorry, you're famous again. It's you're famous, biting you in the ass, Laurie Kilmartin. That's the way it goes. And
so that was fun, and it's a fun show. Ellie, I forget her, I don't know her last name. I'll figure it out. We'll have her as comic of the week.
Let's have her as comic of the week now. Because
no, I texted you.
You got one? Oh, good. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Why don't you check your phone when I send you stuff while we're not doing the podcast, instead of checking the phone and when other people are talking to you during the podcast?
Because I had to have lunch with Robert Jenkins, Michigan comic and all around good egg. And and I slept until 11. So I didn't have time to check my messages.
Well, okay. Well, you should. All right.
Let's do it now. Who was it? I'm so agog. Who will it be?
You're annoying, because we talked about this. You forget everything. I can't stand it.
Well,
Aisha Alfa.
Aisha. Yeah. Aisha Alfa is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Very funny. She
is a great comic. She was on the Dork Forest. Her dorkdom was Korean food. And I went out to dinner with her, but she's a great, everyone should find her. Aisha.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I have her. Usually we make Kyle do the, it's Aisha Alfa, Aisha Alfa. That's her Twitter.
Yep.
And she's from Canada. So she's one of those Canadians that develops behind our backs.
Right.
And then moves to the States with like great material. And we're like, where the fuck did you come from?
Yep. Yeah. So find her, Aisha Alfa.
Yeah.
She's great.
She has some really funny videos on her website. It's weird when someone makes it easy for you to find them. That's so much nicer than like, no one's organized their videos any place. It's like, go to YouTube. All right, there's one from 2012. You want us to look at that? And
yeah.
Is that our
It's
opinion?
good if you have a video page on your website.
Yes.
Do that.
Hey,
I will say that
Linktree. Have you heard of Linktree?
Yes. Have you done it yet? Or
no, but I mean, is that just like it seems like a very simple way to put it all up front.
It is a very simple way to put it all up front. And you can change it and put like this the current week's gig at the top of it.
Right.
I believe 800 Pound Gorilla made a link tree with all the different places where you can stream our albums and
Oh,
and then watch my video.
yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
And it also has the website on the linktree. So
Why did Linktree get popular? Just because it's so stupid and easy, and
yeah,
they
that and
like the drudge of comedy websites, right? It's just like big font and click.
yeah, I have not done it yet because you know when you hit a wall with the tech stuff and you're just like, I can't do one more fucking thing. And
Yes.
I did do I was talking to Robert, I was texting with Robert Jenkins yesterday about where to go for lunch and stuff, and he was telling me because he did a dork forest, Robert Jenkins, and his dorkdom is gun safety. He owns many guns and he loves guns, and so his dorkdom was guns, and then he talked about gun safety on the dork forest. But the floor manager at the Comedy Castle in Michigan, where I'm at right now, was telling me how great Robert Jenkins, because he headlined there a couple of months ago, and how great it was, and how this floor manager guy is old school. You will love this club when you get to do it. And
will I get to do it?
you will get to do it. You'll get to do it. It'll be fine. But he picked me up and he said, all right, anybody gives you any trouble, you just go, hey, Bill, these people. And
Nice.
I was like, that is exactly what I'm looking for. That conversation before I get on stage, just in case, right? The other thing I like about the feature this week is that he's talking a lot about COVID. And at one point he goes, how many of you people are vaccinated? And just a smattering of applause, because I don't know if people are shy or if they're
right.
Yeah. And then he just goes into a, great, there's 200 people in here. There's 7 people. 7 people are vaccinated. I feel safe. And then he talks about masks and he talks about all these things. And I have a new mask joke that I tried first show last night. My set has been, here's how I will describe my set: messy, but fun. I mean, what I will say is that my album just came out 2 months ago, the special. And I have 2 things, erroneous attitudes. One is that people have seen all the material. No one's seen it.
Right.
A handful of people in every audience have seen the material. They've come anyway. So they're okay with seeing it again. They want to see it live. The second thing is some of the jokes I'm sick of doing.
Right.
And I haven't done enough long sets in the last couple of weeks to have the order correct. And you're doing all new material, and I'm super competitive. So,
The real Jackie comes out.
Yes, and I have to. So last night
I'm super competitive too, by the way, and I'm so excited I'm winning the race at the moment. It is an arms race, and you know how that's I don't know which one of us is a USSR, but we'll find out.
Well, here's if you want to get into it, you recorded your album much earlier than I did.
Dude, I didn't start this fucking shit. You did. I'm just listening politely to your stories, and you drag me in, and then you slam and attack me.
Do you feel attacked? And well, you should. Because so it's there. What I'm doing is I'm doing like 15 minutes of premises with some punchlines, and I'm messing around and I'm doing this, and then I'm trying to weave it into the rest of my material, and it is sloppy. And so Thursday I had a really good time doing it. Friday I was like, no, just find your old set list and redo that and go through it, and then so I tried to do that, and I got mad at myself in the middle, and I hate it when I get mad at myself. And then second show last night I was like, just go up and have fun and just do one joke at a time. Just do one joke at a time.
Yeah.
Let that joke happen. And then go to the next joke. They're all 3.5 minutes anyway. So what the hell? And hoping. Yeah. And then 2 more shows tonight. I've sold out of all of, everybody has merch, by the way. The MC has merch.
Wow. So is this a good place to sell merch? Do they have like a good setup and all that?
Yeah, they've got a good setup, and almost everybody. I've sold out of all the mediums and larges of the Squish t-shirt. So last night I was like, you got to order online. I'm very sorry. And now I'm about to go to Madison after this.
With
And all
no
I
money.
have all I have are smalls, XLs, and double X's. And so tonight I might sell out of some of those. And Andy was like,
shirt. I need a shirt.
you do need a shirt. But it's like a Libyan bazaar with the three of us, because the MC has shirts, the feature has bracelets, and I have absolutely everything else. 3 t-shirts, CD, DVD, coins, pins, stickers for free. And I'm running out of stickers.
But it's nice to be able to sell with other comics. I can't believe headliners don't let the other acts sell stuff. Like, oh, I'm just gonna stand by myself like an asshole. You're gonna stand here and be an asshole too. I would insist if I could that they bring shit to sell.
Right. And it's always surprising. It just feels rude to say to the feature or the MC that they can't sell, because there's
yeah,
they don't have any money. They're
Right.
making so much less money than you. Let them sell, you dick. And so
a comic online, I forget who it was tweeting about money, and I posted an old, I took my one of my calendars from 94 where I'd written how much I was making, and I just posted a picture of it, and it's like I was making 500 a feature, like a Tommy T's.
Yeah.
Like you look the whole month, I was probably making about $2,000 that month in 94.
Yep. And that is probably more than what they're making now. And you were getting hotel.
Getting a hotel, and they were longer weeks, so it was often like a Wednesday through or a Tuesday through Saturday or Sunday.
But you had housing too. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're working, you don't care. What else was I gonna say? Oh, so and your show, so a lot of unvaccinated people.
I don't know. I just know that nobody has to wear masks, so most people aren't. I've become a hobby mask wearer out here in the world.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, I usually put it on when I think I'm going to lose it. And I don't want to drop it, even though I have an extra one on me at all times. So,
well, TJ Miller, you said, can we say this or can we not?
Yeah. They told me,
he posted it on his thing. He got COVID.
Right. He was here last week, and he literally, the one of the managers was telling me that that he had he brought an extra HEPA filter. He had the staff sell his stuff. He signed stuff, but he didn't do any like pictures or meet and greet stuff. He just signed stuff for people. And then 3 days after he left here, he got COVID. He had it. And I was talking to the manager, and I said, it's funny that he's so safety conscious, but if someone were to hand him a pill that they found on the floor, he would just eat it. And because that guy might be a drug.
Oh
yeah,
possibly.
And
I don't.
We don't know. I can't say. I can't say. It's not for me to say that he might have.
I did bring my air purifier. It's on stage running at high, and it's not. It makes a teeny bit of a noise, but it's nothing you can that bothers the show. And if you turn it on before the show starts, the audience immediately acclimated to it. It's not like weirdly starting when I get up on stage.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna help. It can't hurt, but I don't know if it's gonna keep me completely safe. The Comedy Attic is checking for vaccine cards this week. They don't do it every week. They're doing it this week because I sort of asked, and we some people were turned away at the door, and I'm like, good, bye, haha.
and I'm sure Jared was like, no, that'll happen. You come next week. Come when it's not going to hurt somebody's. Yeah. You get to ask. It's your show. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, aren't you? Why didn't you ask at the castle then? Because you haven't been back in 30 years, and you want them to rebook you.
Yes.
I
By the way,
I totally understand.
By the way, my photo is up from 20
Yeah.
years, from 22 years ago. I am a baby. I am a baby. And
Right.
Maria, her photo is 2 over from mine. And she was like, wait, they have my photo up? That was the one where they switched me with the feature.
Oh my
And
God.
she was like, that was the Burning Bridges tour, which is the name of her first album, because it was a Burning Bridges tour.
Oh my God. They'll never admit they burned a bridge. You know, clubs will keep headshots as long as they can.
Sure, and especially if the person has become, very successful.
Yeah, famous. Yeah.
Sure. It's
Well, that's cool. And
Yep.
so it's a fingers crossed for both of us,
yeah. And then I go to Milwaukee, and I told my brother, yeah, I go to Milwaukee on Sunday, tomorrow. And I'm like, well, is it okay if I stay with you, or do you want me to get a hotel? And he said, stay with us. I'm teaching. The boys are going to school and work. So we're all just living our lives.
At what point do you see your dad?
At what point do I see my dad?
Well, I'm saying, like, if there's a lag time of a couple of days, if you were to get COVID and you saw your dad before, you know what I mean? Like, you might want to be a little extra careful since you're coming off of this much exposure, and he's 84.
Yeah, you're not
Jackie,
wrong.
I don't want you stealing my thunder. I want to be the only one whose parents died of COVID in this podcast, okay?
Right. We don't have to be that much alike. And yeah,
I don't know. Just putting that out there. I mean, do you have rapid tests that you can?
I do. I brought a couple of rapid tests with me, so I suppose I could check tomorrow when I land. I could take a rapid test. And
is it outdoor? Can you do anything outdoors, or is it super cold
it's
right
20
there?
degrees.
Mm.
So yeah, maybe I'll take it Monday. Maybe I'll take it Monday morning before I go to meet him for breakfast.
Yeah, I think if you have no symptoms and it's like a super solid undetected line, maybe you could still wear a mask most of the time when you're around him, just in case.
Like I don't have to hug him. Yeah. We could just have breakfast and eat coffee, eat eggs and drink coffee at each other. But yeah, my brother Phil is like, can you teach him how to use Uber? And I was like, I could try. Like, he doesn't have a smartphone. We'll have to get him a smartphone. Because he has an old flip phone. And
he's just like my son, by the way.
Also has a flip phone.
Yeah.
I think, it'd be better if my brother just hired a driver. I was like, hey, Rockefeller, why don't you just hire a driver?
You know what? That's not, if it's affordable, because the damage that would happen if your dad had some kind of crash and hurt somebody, incalculable, right? Incalculable.
Right. And I'm sure my father could calculate it. My brother's an econ professor. So I'm sure that they could make some sort of spreadsheet.
Yeah, my dad was not driving great, before that was like one of those things where, like, ooh, I'm gonna have to talk to this guy in a year or two. But then God talked to him and said, come home.
Took him off the road. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about so many things, Laurie.
Right.
So all I know is I'm doing stand-up. I'm eating too much and I'm tired. So the stand-up is awesome.
Stand-up is awesome. I'm loving it. This morning, yesterday I went to the Uptown Cafe, which is like, it's so, I could have every meal there. It's right in front of the town square. It's like a 5-minute walk from the hotel, right?
Yep.
And then today I went to Inkwell, which is this coffee shop that's, when are you at the attic again? Are you there?
I don't know. It's not on the books. So
you just did it, right?
Yeah. Well, I did limestone. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know that square with like this statue, or so it's
Yeah.
on one side of the square, and that's really great. It was a little crowded, and then I walked around the square and bought some, things made from indigenous peoples, which I always do. And then I went. I'm like, I want more coffee, but the inkwell was like bananas, and so I just kept walking up, and there's this place called Crumbles.
Yeah.
Like a little bit up College, and it's in what looks like kind of like an old Soviet style office building. But once you go in, it's great, and it's not as crowded because it's off the square. So I recommend for you or for any comic listening, head up to Crumbles.
Right. There's also a coffee shop that is in an old church in the basement, and that's off the grid too, a little bit off the square, and it is also. It's a little smaller, so it gets packed quicker, I think. But
What's
it
the name
is,
of it?
I don't know. I want to call it the Church Key, but there's no way it's called that. So
my flight tomorrow is until 3:15. So
mine's at 4. You could go to one more coffee shop.
I can do some more coffee shops. It makes me want to go back to my old website when I was just like a road feature. I would review coffee shops and lap pools, right? And there's so many little there's no Starbucks. I haven't seen a Starbucks here at all. There's so many little places where you're like, oh, I'd like to do a little review again for my website, but no one gives a shit anymore. But
you could just put it on Yelp. They would care. And
sure.
I went to yesterday I took a Lyft and went to a breakfast place called Toast. Here's the thing about Michigan that a lot of people don't know, is that they have a lot of mushrooms.
You mean psychedelics?
No, edible wild mushrooms grow everywhere. And so a lot of their local, the local restaurants, there'll be a mushroom dish. They have a lot of varied mushroom dishes. So I went to, you don't like mushrooms?
No.
I'm not sure. I'm not surprised. God damn it. They're the best. Anyway, so.
More for you. What do you care?
What do I care? Exactly. And so I went to Toast. It's called Toast. And then today, one of the managers at the club was like, there's this, you and Robert should go to this Chinese place. It's good. It's a takeout place, but they do have some seating. And we walk in and we look around, and it's just got some stools against a window, jammed against a window. And then it's just got a takeout window. And we looked at each other, and Robert goes, it's a phone booth. Do you want to leave? And I said, yes, let us leave. And so we went to another place called Cafe Muse, and it's right next to a used bookstore, which I went to, bought 3 new books. Two mystery novels that Ophir Eisenberg suggested by an author.
I walked into a Caveat Emptor, and I was like, I have at least 20 hardbacks stacked next to my bed.
Yeah.
I can't, if I bring home more books, I'm gonna, the pressure is mounting.
The pressure's too great. It was, I know, I brought some books that I brought a romance novel that I'm going to abandon here. And then I brought a mystery novel that Tess Rafferty recommended that I gave to my mother-in-law, and it might be too sad because it's funny. It's really smart. It's the guy, the British game show called Taskmaster. It is a stand-up comics are given tasks.
Oh.
It's a game show, and he hosts it, and he busts their balls, and it's very funny. And there's probably 13 seasons, but he has now written 2 mystery novels.
Oh, wow.
They're the Thursday Murder Mystery Club murders, right?
Yeah.
And they're both very funny, but they take place in a senior center, in a home, or an apartment complex. And there's a lot of discussion about dying of old age. And so I've given it to my mother-in-law, and she may or may not be into it because she is frail. She has arthritis. We're going to try to move her down to LA this year. And she may not want to hear it.
Sure. That reminds 2 things. You reminded me, like, Jared was saying there might be a British comic who's come into the attic, who's going to do like a Wednesday through Thursday or whatever, Sunday through Wednesday, like the off hours, the off days. And because they're British, like expats will come from all over the Midwest to see this guy.
Oh, neat.
I'm like, "God, what a fucking great life." I would love, because here's the thing, I want to be like these little weekends. You have a fly day, and then you just recover on the Saturday, and then you get the fuck out. You never get to see the town.
Mhm.
You know, I'd love to work here for a full week, you know, and bring enough people in where everyone's happy and making money, and just like settle in for a week.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and live somewhere for a couple of days. More
Meanwhile, these
touristy.
foreigners
Yeah.
from Britain come here and they get to know our little towns and we don't.
Do you want to do? Robert Jenkins suggested that we do something called the Blue Dot Tour,
Yeah.
and where we go to little tiny towns all over the country that are sort of democratic havens, kind of like Bloomington,
Oh.
and do shows, and we'd end up in. Yeah, it's it sounds like a lot of work, but yes, I'd love to do it.
Is there someone that's like done all the work for us?
Nope.
So that oh, okay. So we have to find the blue dots, book the venues and all that. Okay, no, not
Yeah, and
I
it
need
would
a
be
red
at
dot
the-
capitalist to put that together for us.
and it's the antithesis of what you just said, because we would go in and go out,
Right.
and there would be no time to see the tiny
No coffee.
town. Yeah, and we should probably take a break here. Let's take a second break. And
we're back.
We're
So this hotel,
yeah,
so this I'm getting ready for my show yesterday, right? And I'm like, all right, where's the lotion? I need to put lotion on. I'm in a hotel. I jacked the heat up. My skin is flaking all over the rug, right? They're out of lotion. I call down. They're like, yeah, there's a supply chain. We don't have any lotion, but you can walk down to Kroger's.
Yeah.
I'm like, excuse me, my hair's wet. Naked. I had to put on Kroger clothes and then come back and change into show clothes.
Yeah, that's right.
What I have to do. If you are out of lotion and you have a female guest checking in, let her know immediately. Don't let me.
I got lotion. I wish I could send you over some lotion from this Hyatt. So here's the thing: you walk to that Kroger's in Bloomington. You walk by a Planned Parenthood, and across the street from the Planned Parenthood, one of the fake women's abortion centers.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a real Planned Parenthood where you can get a pap smear and an abortion, and across the street there's a place that's going to try to talk you into that your baby is Jesus. But that they're not going to let, like, it's so creepy. And the Planned Parenthood is just a building. The fake one has got like a pink awning and is so pretty and cute. It's fucking spooky. And I was walking past it. What?
Oh, I would like to go in and waste their time by pretending that I'm pregnant for like an hour. Maybe just waste their time. Be like, I can't believe it. I'm 56. I need to abort this baby, right? And they'll leave fertile women alone while they tend to my fake emotional needs.
Yeah. Maria does this new bit about how one of the places you should call if you're feeling suicidal is the anti-choice people, because they profess to be they profess to be in favor of life, and you're like, make them prove it. Make them talk you off the ledge, and you're like, yeah, that'll be great.
Love it.
And so I am looking forward to doing Madison Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
And are you going home after this?
I am. And then I think my week at the Den canceled because of COVID. So I might be home for 5 weeks straight. With
my Canada gig canceled, my Vancouver gig.
I heard, because I was upset about this Chicago thing, and then Bruce is like, a lot of things are canceling in February.
Oh yeah,
Which is weird. I thought February was when people thought it was coming back, but maybe not. Maybe the audiences don't feel safe yet.
Right,
you know?
Right. But my February, I'm doing St. Louis, and then Portland, and then Denver. So I have but it's only the last weekend of February, the Vancouver, that canceled.
Oh, I see.
So my first 3 weekends of February are booked.
St. Louis with Maria?
Yeah, St. Louis is, and Vancouver
Are they
was
gonna,
with Maria. Yeah,
are they going to check vaccine cards?
at the St. Louis Helium. I don't know.
I would think she would be able to insist on that, right?
I would think if she cares, if she doesn't also not want to rock the boat like all women comics forever.
But Maria's Maria. She is the boat.
Right. She's the captain of the boat. She could say it, you know?
Yeah.
And it is
Because total, it's a disaster state when it comes to COVID, Missouri.
oh yeah. It's well, I'm sure Michigan is too, just wandering, just every restaurant is full. And the staff is in paper masks.
Oy.
And that is all.
At least here, this is the only county in Indiana that has a mask mandate.
Okay.
So, I mean, you just kind of feel like their heads are screwed on right here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like when I'm looking at the audience, and, you know, people are putting their masks back up after they finish, and some people are forgetting, you know, that's not even a hostile thing on purpose. Sometimes you just don't think about it.
Yeah. No, as I wander around this town for the last couple of days and I'm not putting my mask on, it's more normal to not put it on. You know, I'm just sort of back to not putting it on.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Hang in there, Booster. Do your job.
Hang in there, Booster Chat. I hope you're doing good work. And other than that, it's a very pretty little town. I went to the used bookstore and it's got a lot of coffee shops, but it is 20 degrees and it's snowing. But the club is only 4 blocks away. And that's kind of awesome. And and the general manager came and saw the show on Thursday, which actually kind of was a little nerve-wracking for me because I was like, hey, why don't you come on Saturday after I've warmed up a little bit? And but she came on Thursday and she had a really good time.
Yay.
So it's between her and Mark Ridley, you know, they own together or something. And then but I did hear that they're not since the Appleton, Wisconsin club, I've been hearing a lot about different Midwestern clubs from all the different young comics that I've been talking to. And I guess there's a new comedy club in Traverse City, Michigan.
Where's that?
Traverse City is sadly 3 hours from every major airport. But you can fly into Traverse City.
Yeah.
So, but it's like flying into Madison. And but I will but they're like Bobcat's there, Rena Kalm is there, John Heffron. So
who is a part of the chain that doesn't
no, I think it is its own thing, which is awesome.
And then Appleton was bought by Tacoma guy, right?
Right, the Tacoma Spokane people. And they've gotten rid of the condo, but that means that they're not putting up the MC of the feature at all. So the Chicago kids that I'm working with here are like, they expect Chicago comics to drive up there each night. And it's a 3-hour drive from Chicago to Appleton.
Fuck.
For $50 a show.
What?
Yeah.
That's bananas.
It's really a bummer because, you know, it wasn't a good living. Like I still had a day job when I featured.
Right.
But it was supplemental, you know?
I mean,
I would make about 15 grand a year when I was grinding it out as a feature in the early 90s, doing the road, because they put me up.
That's how you get good. That's how you get good.
It's the only way to get good is the stage time.
That's like, and it's what, probably 20 in gas, I'm going to guess, 30?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because gas is $3.50.
That might be the whole 50.
Yeah. I was like, they had to have gotten PPPs or whatever. So it's a drag that they're not, you know, I'm not passing it on because they're shooting themselves in the foot, you know?
Yeah. And then is Appleton near, so is
Anything?
the closest comedy scene in Chicago, Appleton?
No, Milwaukee's probably 2 hours, little less. And Madison's probably an hour 15, 2 hours.
Wow.
It's like Appleton is right by Green Bay.
Yeah.
And so it's pushed up towards a pile of paper mills in Door County. And it's just sort of, it's on the eastern side of the state, but north. And so it's hard. But here's what could happen is they could end up building a local scene that will be strong.
You have that look on your face before. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So is the Crackers closed? I never worked Crackers, so I felt nothing.
And Dr. Grid's closed. And
I think they're reopening though. Aren't they moving? I thought they lost their lease at that venue and they're going to.
Okay. And I read on Facebook that Eric Yoder is going to start working for Princess Cruises. And my agent asked me if I wanted to audition for Cruises, and I was like, no, I can't do it.
No, and not now, but I mean, in 2 years, you never.
No, I've never wanted to work for Cruises.
Really? You could bring Andy, right?
I don't care. I did the JoCo cruise there's a couple things. First of all, I cannot be on a boat with a buffet. It is triggering. I'm gonna eat all the shitty food in the world, and until I deal with my eating disorder, I have to think realistically. Okay. And second of all, it's always places I don't want to go. The only cruise I've ever wanted to be on, and I told TJ this, I was like, well, could I do that one up to Alaska? And he was like, that's actually not how it works. And I was like, all right. And he sent them my special. He said, are you willing to do this audition? And I said, no, it's not necessary. And he goes, yeah, because I sent them your tape and if they wanted to submit you, but they said that they really wanted to meet you. And I was like, well, I can't. I'm on the road every weekend for the next 6 weeks. I can't face it. And he was like, oh yeah, no, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me. I'll just tell him. So all right. Yeah, well, where do you want to go? What I mean, it's not like it's the Mediterranean. It's usually to the Bahamas and back. What's
wrong with the Bahamas? You're too good for the Bahamas?
I am. I'm not beach people. You're beach people.
I'm not a beach person, but I like pretty things. I would like to sit in a coffee shop on the beach. Crumbles on the beach, maybe. I'm working on a pilot with another comedian who and we have a due date of March 1st that we have to show it to this production company.
That's cool.
So we've been sort of just meeting casually, and then we both realized we need an office. We need to be able to start putting scenes up on the wall and so we can remember everything. Yeah. And so I was looking into office space, and there's he actually found a place that, because he's super well connected, we're going to be able to work at for free. It's up above a store.
Is it your garage?
No, that is occupied with shit issues. I can't going to clean. Yeah, yes. Issues. No, I just mean there's just like, I'm like, oh, this was going to be my space, but all right, it's
clearly not.
Yeah, Lord of the Flies, Yellow Jackets, but male. But I also think I might need to get an office because I can't seem to do anything at the house, and maybe that's a thing to try. Is just go. They're like $300-400 a month. You know, if I could that would be a good investment for me, good way to spend money for me, if I could also get something out of it, which is me finishing this novel. Yeah, that's a great idea, actually. It's me sitting at my kitchen table, it doesn't work. just on Twitter. But if you have to go to a place you're paying for, part of you's like, all right, it's business time, you know?
Right. It's time to get some work done. And that's not a bad idea. That's pretty cool. And I like it. Would it have 300 or 400? There's a part of me that's like, could you put in a cot there and live? Because that'd be an amazing rent for someone who needed to live in Los Angeles. And if you could live in an office for 300 or 400 bucks a month.
Sure. I don't know. I'll check it out. I mean, maybe that was a bait and switch price. Maybe it's more expensive, but you know, if there's places that aren't WeWork that have a similar sort of, you know,
right. Yeah, because if it's a combo space, I think my sister is a member of something that is like that, where it's a combined space that a lot of different people pitch into. And
that's what it would be.
That's what it would be.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is that called WeWork? That's right. I think that's right.
Well, there's a lot of them, and somehow WeWork, I haven't totally paid attention, but they went public, or it just, and then it's, you know, I don't know, assholes. It's tech, and it's like pitched as a solution to all problems. It's like, oh, someone's being exploited terribly.
Right. There's always some fail when it's being touted as like the answer, and you're like, oh, someone's getting screwed. What's your plan this week?
Well, go home, test negative. And then I'll just be doing local stuff, I guess, for the rest of January and all of February.
Did you sign up for the West Side? He sent out avails. Did you see that?
Just now.
No,
when you were
like yesterday. Yeah, you should check just initiate contact and go, hey man, what's this week look like? Because I'm home.
Okay.
And I also so I'm trying to figure out because I kind of want to write something besides stand up too. That's on the VB, the vision board. And I also want to and I got to do that voiceover thing, and I want to do that again. I want to do more of that. And those are my plans for the week. And then I get to go to Madison. I forgot to bring anything but my Captain Marvel setup. Like it's a windbreaker and a jacket. So it does block the wind. And then I have mittens and a hat. But I could use I should have brought another hoodie. I should have brought another just another sweatshirt. And so the feature was like, there's this great sweatshirt shop that also has AC/DC t-shirts. And I went in,
sign you up.
Yeah, it was like Detroit City. And so I went in and I was looking at it and I was like, these are not well made. And I needed them to be thicker. If I was going to spend 30 or 40 bucks on a sweatshirt, I needed to be super cozy. And so maybe I'll find something in Milwaukee tomorrow, or I'll find something in Madison over the weekend, because there's Ragstock and there's a lot of artisanal shops where I bought $30 mittens the last time I was there, which I'm still carrying around, luckily, because I lose mittens.
I don't think you're alone. I think we've got to be at an hour at this point, right? Once we get to talk, it's like, it's done.
Let's be done.